Hello. Talk about posture. Talk about posture. Was that not incredible? I mean, if you're on the replay, drop replay in the comments because I want to know if you've been blown away by this event. If you are live, drop some of your takeaways from the last session because we're about to blow your mind again. The main conversation for this event has been posture and branding, and believing in who you are and the message that you have to give and what you have to offer. See, some of you are literally putting yourself in a place where you think you are your company, you think you are your product, and you think that's all you can talk about. And we're trying to get it in your head that that is not the only part of you. So what I'm excited about is I got a chance to work with every single one of these humans on the panel in the Moneymaker Branding Kit, or in the Leader Lab with me, or some of them both. And I'm just so honored that they said yes to be here to share their story, share what they were struggling with, and some of the aha moments they had when it came to branding. So get your notes ready because this is going to blow your mind. And if you're not branding in 2021, you're getting left behind, boo-boo. I promise you. But I have to introduce the person who's going to be running this panel because this person is been a gift from God to me. She literally from day one, she was the first person to know that I was pregnant with Madeline. We were at an event and I was sick as a jog. And she was like, "Are you all right?" And I'm like, "Dude, I'm pregnant and nobody knows." And so she was the very first person to know because she just literally just the warmth that comes from her blesses my heart. I love it. I can't even tell you. So Sue Henry is a speaker, a coach, a mentor, and best-selling author. She is also, I thought you were talking to me. I was like, what'd I do? She is also our community manager for the Elite Healer community, for the Leader Lab, and for all the above. So if you see Sue in the comments helping you out, she is our community manager, and she's absolutely incredible. She has had more than 5,500 people from 18 countries attend one of her Butts in Seats trainings and more than 4,000 in online trainings. She shared the stage with Jack Canfield, Brian Tracy, Bob Berg, Lisa Nichols, and more. She is a powerhouse. She has the warmest heart and she's funny as hell. So I know you guys are going to love the crap out of her. So Sue, hi, lovey.
You're going to make me cry, you know? So that's kind of how I was this morning when I was trying to put on fake eyelashes. Yeah, they're not on.
No, that's all good. I mean, I get them on, but I burn the crap out of my eyes. So I feel you on that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to back out so you can take over. Thank you so much for being here. We love you so much, Sue.
I love being here. So I'm so excited. I get to interview or bring on some amazing women that I have gotten to know through Leader Lab. And so as I don't know how this, I guess I wasn't told exactly how they come on.
I'll bring them on.
Okay. Okay. So Camille Nisich, do you have her? Oh, hi, Camille. Nice to have you here. Chelsea Forner, and I've got this in front of me, and I even practiced the names because I knew I would be flustered and I'd screw them up. So please know that from my heart, you're getting lots of love, even if my mouth isn't resonating that, okay? Brooke Ranvek, she here? Perfect. And Jennifer Tarango, we're so glad you got your electricity back, girl. Danielle Bohannon.
Hello.
And Kim Phlegm. So thank you, ladies, for being here. I'm so excited. I've got a few questions to ask. But first, if I can get you to work with me on this. Before I came to this event, and I think I'm not just speaking for myself, I was probably a 6 where Bob was talking about being a 6. And now, after everything that I've learned, I'm not just a 9. I'm a 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9. Can anybody else relate to that?
Yeah.
I mean, has this been amazing or what? So I've got 5 questions we'll go through. What I'll do is the first one I'd like to go through with each one of you. So as I ask the first question, if we'll just kind of go in order, if you can just share just, a 60-second version of your story or something, and then go into the question or the answer to the question. And if I if you need help with the question again, because I get on a tangent, just ask again. It's all good. My company is Sue Henry Talks. Now you know why. So Camille, if you would introduce yourself a little bit, but here's the question I'd like to go through first. What was your business like before the Moneymaker Branding Kit, and what's it like now?
So, hi, my name is Camille Nisich. I am a profitability advisor and consultant primarily. I also do some coaching, and I help fast-growing companies implement a cash flow strategy, make better decisions, and ultimately grow their profits. So what my business was like before Moneymaker Branding Kit, I'm probably a little different than some of the people in that I was actually already coaching and consulting, but I was frustrated both with how much I was making and also I didn't know how to integrate my network marketing business because I've always been, ever since I was exposed to the industry, I always thought the idea of a residual income, regardless of what your core moneymaker was important. And I could never really get them to mesh until Moneymaker Branding Kit. But I have been able to do that with the help of the ladies that are amazing.
And so how's your business? So since you were able to mesh those together, what's happened since then?
I've gone through iterations, and I think that's something that if you're going to do what you should do, Moneymaker Branding Kit, you should realize that even when you're in the program, you might still need to make some tweaks after, but you'll have the foundation, and honestly, you'll have the recordings, and you should listen to them back, particularly Marina's session. But since then, I've been able to grow my business. I've been able to figure out how I'm going to incorporate my network marketing business, and I have a launch coming up for that. And I've actually been able to grow my consulting and my coaching base by giving less of my time. So thank you, Candace, for that part in particular. It's been amazing.
Oh, isn't that awesome? So you're making more and working less. Who isn't going to be on board with that? So Chelsea, share a little bit about you and your story, and then the same question for you.
That sounds great. Thanks for having me today. So my name is Chelsea Fournier, and I have been in network marketing since May of 2013. But I was always doing it on top of a primary career. My background was as a startup lawyer, and so I have a very green, systems detail-oriented personality. Then when I shifted from practicing law, it was business coaching. And so it's always been on the side. And it turns out, as I answer kind of my question around how business was like, it turns out having a baby actually does change your life. I was someone who said, oh, I'm super even keeled. It's not going to make any difference. But what I want to do is share a little bit about what my life was like and why Moneymaker Branding Kit needed to happen for me. So I want to paint the picture that I hopped into MMBK in June of this year. So painting a picture of what life was like, because our business and life are kind of the same thing, especially when you're branding yourself online. So we were 3 months into pandemic lockdown. I was 7 months postpartum. My husband was working out of state, and I was living with my parents to help my 7-month-old to have that help so I wasn't single momming it. And this is actually the first time I'm sharing this vulnerably. So if I get a little teary-eyed. So I was in a space where I was living through very acute postpartum anxiety. I didn't know what it was at the time, but I thought I was going crazy. I was having hallucinations, paranoia, extreme nightmares, sleep deprivation, and I was still trying to grow my business because it's the why, right? If you're in this for your family, you're like, well, I can't set it aside because of my family. And so I was posting just to stay active, but totally half-assing it. I was doing it so my team thought I was doing something, to be really honest. And I was in such a state of confusion that I was just watering everything down because I was so raw that I couldn't have handled any negativity. I don't know if anybody's ever been in that space where you're like, I need to be more online, but I'm feeling really raw. And especially I know a lot of the viewers are probably women, you can feel that. I'm an empath. I'm holding crystals to stay strong. This is me, right? And so I was following up with old prospects that I just felt like I didn't have anything in common with because I had reached out to them before this phase of my life. And I'll be honest, I had to do a lot of physical and mental healing. I'm a huge proponent of counseling and leaning into what you need to lean into if you're actually going through something acute. But I also find that because of stepping into MMBK, I started to find more conviction and commitment to start showing up, right? And to start speaking directly to my audience. Once I knew my mission statement, going through that process of finding a mission statement, I walked in to my conversation with Marina thinking I knew a mission statement. And it had an evolution, like Camille just said, like it had an evolution even through that short-term process. And now having it roll off my tongue as I do live videos or stories just feels so natural, and it helps me to focus on being able to share the content. So I'm way more organized. Like where I am now, I'm doing a lot better, in case anybody's worried. I'm way more organized. I'm able to content batch and spend more time actually talking to the humans. So yay, reminders and refreshers on 333 through the process, and stepping back into business with a business mindset, not just a like scarcity, I have to do this, desperation mindset, which just honestly is where I was when I stepped into this. And before, I was just going through the motions. I didn't really have inspiration. I didn't know what my message was. I was hiding in the shadows, but I knew I needed to step back in, not only for my own personal production, but to lead by example in my team. And I was honestly, for a couple months, scraping by with like maybe a new account a month, which is way less than like I'm usually leading personal accounts in my team. And so, kind of fast forwarding, I'm feeling so much more organized. I'll share a couple of the specific wins for the other questions. But in October, I did qualify for 1 share of a bonus pool that my company is putting on based on personal sales and recruits. And I got 2 shares in November. So I'm getting back to the momentum, and I can look back and in large part see, June, July, August, it takes 90 days to get enough people in your funnel who, as Melanie talked about, are attracted the right people. And so now I'm starting to see that momentum coming back, and super thankful.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. And I think that as women, I've never been a man, so I can't speak for a man, but as women, we go through different seasons in our lives. And when we're at that low point, I can remember being on an airplane and having to have somebody else take my daughter shopping for her prom dress because I couldn't be there because of obligations. And I think that our prayers are answered by other people. And it sounds a lot like we're in a lot of the same place, where Marina was kind of that answer to that prayer because of where we were at in that part of our life and how we've gotten to evolve. So I love that. Thank you for sharing your heart and being so vulnerable with us. So Miss Brooke, would you share a little bit about you with us, and then what was your business like before and then after?
Okay, I am Brooke Ramvik. I am also from Minnesota, Sue. I am a boy mom. I have 2 boys. Floyd is 12 today, so another birthday, and my son Jagger is 14. So I actually had the chance to stay home with them. And then I got into network marketing so I could communicate with other adults. And then I knew I needed more than network marketing. And that is when I became a health and life coach at the mastery level. And I've been in network marketing since 2012. So the company I was before, I was so stinking loyal to, and they kind of went a different way. And then I got introduced to a new company, and I knew I wanted to just be me. Like, I didn't want to be wearing somebody else's logo, nothing. I wanted to be me. And that is when I had an opportunity to just drop upon Miss Marina. And I was like, oh my gosh, that was the first time in network marketing that I'd ever seen someone so real and so raw and so relatable. And I just knew, of course, I'm like stalking her then, and I became an elite healer. And before though, I was so full of information. Definitely, just like Bob had said, I knew what a 9 looked like. How am I going to get there? I'm so full. I cannot do anything more on my own. And that is when I was like, I don't care. Marina is going to help me. She's going to help me. And that is when I entered into the Moneymaker Branding Kit. And their belief in me just continues still to help me progress, they've actually helped me like envision a dream for myself and have helped me create it and have it come true. And I have created my dream program. I'm starting next month, and they have helped me build out a funnel and just really instilling over and over again that belief and that worth. And those two things have really stuck out to me with this whole summit. And, after having them believe in me enough and making me feel worthy enough for a while, I'm starting to recognize, oh, that's what I get to do for other people. Like this is it. It was so much more than just branding. They were amazing because they asked me questions. They didn't try to create something for me. They asked me, what do you want? And my brand is me all around. And I just have been very, very grateful and very blessed with all of their patience and everything like that.
So thank you, Brooke. Yeah, they are super patient. And the other thing, what you said, I think is so true, is that they don't have something that's kind of set up and they try and fit you into that mold. They take you and they create a brand new mold every single time. I mean, how freaking powerful is that? So Kim, let's go to you. If you'd share a little bit about yourself with us, please. And then what was your business like before and then after being involved in MMBK?
Yes, my name is Kim Flynn, and I am actually from Atlanta, Georgia. I have 5 children and a wonderful husband. But before MMBK, I'm a salon owner. I've been a salon owner for about 20 years now. And then my husband and myself, we also have a towing company. So when I tell you, like, I was stretched to capacity, so that's actually what led me to get into network marketing. I wanted to, you can have all the money in the world, but I value my time. And I'm at a point now where I would rather be home with my children, with my husband. So I'm really valuing that now. And not just that, just the toll that working, I don't know if we have any hairstylists here, but working 10, 12 hours a day was just getting old for me. So since being a part of the program, y'all, I have actually been able to cut my work hours or my work days back to 3 days a week. So I'm now able to be home. Yes. And then, now with COVID and being able to be there to help my children with schoolwork and all of that, like, it just makes me feel awesome. Okay. And then as far as network marketing, I've been in that for about the past 3 years. So I went from making a couple of hundreds per month to now I'm a 5-figure earner. So, I've I've been in the hair industry, at the top, teaching classes, traveling the world and all of that. But I knew with network marketing, this was a whole nother beast. Okay. So I knew that I needed help. And unfortunately, we don't have a whole lot of people in the industry that are authentic. And when I met Marina, she just did it for me. And when I tell you, oh my God, so, as we started coming up with the mission statement and, not even realizing that with network marketing as well, I needed to create my own brand outside of the company that I was with at that time. I did not realize that. But I can remember my session with Marina when she looked at me and she was like, there's so much more that you're supposed to be doing, and I've heard that my whole life, like, you have a voice that the world needs to hear. I've been through so much and I know that people need to hear it. But then for her to take Kim and put a mission statement around that, to just make it all make sense. Oh my God, so not only have I been able to make an income in network marketing, my team, I love my team. They've been doing well. It has now also opened up doors with the branding to where I have people reaching out asking me to speak at their events. So I already have a couple of events outside of network marketing for next year, 2021. So it's just been a blessing.
Oh, I love your story. So yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. And I'm sure that, I'm so grateful that my kids we have 6 kids. I'm so grateful they're grown and they have their own families. So I haven't had to deal with homeschooling, because I always tell people there's not enough money in Fort Knox to pay for the therapy it would take if I tried to teach my kids math. Trust me on that.
Yes, it's a lot.
But thank you for sharing. I appreciate that.
You're
So
welcome.
Danielle, What about you and your business before and
Hello.
after? Welcome. We're glad you're here.
Thank you. I'm honored to be here. So, yeah, my name's Danielle Bohannon. I live over in Phoenix, Arizona, where you don't really have a winter. You know how that goes. Yeah, I actually was a dental hygienist for 7 years, and right out of school, I had traumatic back pain. I was only 22. It was kind of rare. You know, most dental hygienists have pain maybe 20 years into their career. And quickly I learned I can't do this for 30 more years. Like, there's no way. Eventually, I got pregnant with my first son. I relate to Chelsea's story quite a bit. And I joined network marketing. I thought, you know, I'm going to get out of this career. So the company I'm with now, I've been 2 years, 2.5 years. I retired from dental hygiene 2 years in January, home with my son. But I also had postpartum depression, but postpartum anxiety as well, as Chelsea was saying. It's a real thing. That's around the time I started working with Marina, was back in January. My son was, I believe he was about 8 months. So I was at that point that I'd been with network marketing, but now I'm a mom, and like, what do I do now? Like, I was a mess, a loss. You know, I just was kind of all over the place. So I thought, I had known Marina before. I loved her to death. I thought, you know, I need to just invest in myself and my business and give this a try. And I really know my market now. She really helped me, you know, during that time. I was more open to sharing about the postpartum, about the depression, about the bad, you know, the ups and downs that I was going through. And I'm just so much better at connecting to my ideal market because of the branding kit. I'm able to really connect and relate more with my audience now.
That's awesome. So do you think that's made it easier for you to have conversations because now you know exactly who that is?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Perfect.
And, you know, more confident in your conversations, whether it's a customer or a business partner. The confidence level has definitely gone up because of Marina. I didn't always believe I'd be where I am today. But because of her and Marissa and Candace, they're amazing. They've really helped transform, you know, a lot of my business.
So thank you, Danielle. Appreciate that. Jen, I'm so glad that you got your electricity back. You know, she was having problems. Her electricity was out, her power was out earlier, and she was wondering how she was going to make this work. So we are so grateful that the universe aligned and you're joining us.
I know.
So would you please share a little bit about yourself and then your business before and after? Or
sure.
Since, yeah.
My name is Jen Tarango, and I actually started in network marketing in 2003. So right out of college, I joined my first company, and I worked with that company for, maybe 5 or 6 years, and then that company sold out to another company. So I worked belly to belly. I think maybe MySpace came out maybe 3 or 4 years into me running with that company. So that was my experience. I loved the training I got from that company. I loved the community. I loved, the personal growth and development. I was like this, I was just a hot mess all the time, but I loved it. I really, really loved it. And so, but when they sold to another company, everything changed and everybody kind of scattered and went to different companies. And I dabbled a little bit here and there, but I was always the dreamy entrepreneurial person. So I was like, I was in the fitness industry, so I'd like personal train and teach aerobics classes and just wait tables, and I never would get like an actual, real person job. And so, and then I had a friend that was a fitness instructor with me who owned an eBay store. So she taught me how to do that. So I, in 2012, I think, or 2011 maybe, I started my own eBay store. And so I sold clothing through there, and I absolutely loved that. And then in 2015, I got pregnant, and when I brought my little girl home from the hospital, I realized I was really set up in a business that was just me. And I needed to photograph and buy the clothing and put it on mannequins and mail it and list it and do all these things where I had been doing, 300 listings a week, and now I was doing 5 because I just had a baby attached to me all the time. And I thought, there's no way that it's not even worth my time in the stress of like trying to figure all this out, right? So I kind of backed away from that business and just kind of did it when I had a second, but it really was not a good source of income. So when my daughter was about a year old, that entrepreneurial itch, I was like, oh goodness, I need to talk to adults. I need to make my own money. I'm not the kind of person that just wants to sit back and, whatever. I needed to be doing something for me. And so that's when I joined my current network marketing company in December of 2017. And I've been running with that company. And it was actually December of last year that I joined MMBK. And I had rank advanced several times with my company, but I had just kind of hit like I had just kind of leveled out, right? So, and I wasn't progressing the way that I was hoping, and my team wasn't winning the way that I was hoping. And I kept hearing all these people say, you need to brand yourself. But when I was doing network marketing before and having success, we were doing everything belly to belly. So people were like, start a Facebook group, do stuff online. I was like, I don't know how to turn my phone on. So it was I really wasn't a Facebook person. I was a Facebook lurker, I like to call it. So I just really wasn't active on social media. So it was like a complete switch for me. So once I kind of got the social media thing down, I kept hearing you need to brand yourself, right? You're not your company isn't you. You need to brand yourself. But I just didn't know where to start. And so that's when I joined MMBK and just kind of said, okay, I don't know where this is going to take me, but I know I need to do something to grow, this business and to grow as a person. Like I need that again. And then I had, freebies and email lists and all these things and logos. And it was just an amazing experience. And Marina is so brilliant at, tapping into your mission, like who you're supposed to connect with, who your people are. You get so clear on who are my people and who am I supposed to be helping, who am I supposed to be impacting on this journey. And that's what's such a cool experience. And my network marketing company has grown, but I've also gotten into that coaching side of things, which Marina was like, you should coach. And I was like, no. And then I came back to her like a month later, like, okay, I think I probably should do that. And, I got coaching clients right off the bat, and it was such people want to work with me. So that was, and they just have so much belief in the people that they're working with and push you, into push you to do what they see in you. They see this potential, and they'll really push you and encourage you to step into that, which was a really awesome experience.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. So we're going to go back through the panel again one more time, and then I'm going to divide the questions so that we do 3 at a time, if that's okay, in the interest of time. So first of all, before we end, I don't know if you've got it handy, but before we end this, if you have your mission statement handy, I would like to ask each of you to share that when we're done. That's not one of the questions, but I think that it's always interesting and fun to hear. And I think it would be good for the people who are listening to this to hear, again, that it's not something that it's not a fill in the blank. I mean, they really put the personality of who we are and what we can become and who we serve into it. So let's start with the question number 2 is, what was your favorite part? Let's try and keep this like 60 seconds or under, okay, each. What was your favorite part about it? What was your aha moment of working with the Money Making Brandy Kit? What was that aha that just kind of blew you away? So we'll start with Camille.
I think my biggest aha was that both Candace and Marissa gave me input into this in different ways. But part of my challenge was I am a fast talker and I like to throw a lot at people because I want to feel like I'm really educating them in terms of my coaching clients. And my biggest aha was that I could give deep value with less of my time by giving them a simplified transformation. And so I was trying to put so much into my packages and give them extra time and all of these different things. And my aha was that I could actually be more effective and sell more if I simplified and really honed in on that one transformation, that would, like I said, take me less of my own time.
Right?
Even. So that was
I mean,
really
is that
my big one.
powerful or what? Thank you for sharing. So Chelsea.
Yeah, I would say my aha moment was pinging between the three women, Candace, Marissa, Marina, and realizing that I never would have put it all together myself, or maybe I would, but it might have taken a much longer time. And because it was a condensed period of time and a big investment for me, maybe for a lot of people, I decided to take it really seriously. And so in addition to the sessions that I had with those three women in that condensed period of time, I really focused on making sure that my mission and my brand were more clear than clever. Because I think we can get caught up in trying to be clever and like hook someone. And I just really wanted to be super clear. And so something, of course, I recommend MMBK to anyone thinking about it. And even if you're not there yet or on top of, I decided to do research calls. So I started booking 15-minute free calls with women who I thought were in my target audience while I was honing my mission statement. And it helped me to catch phrases that my target audience was saying over and over. And then I went back to Marina and said, wait, just kidding. My mission statement needs to change. And it was because it was a condensed period of time. And I really put that on myself. And I had calls with women where when they said something that caught them with emotion, if they choked up when saying something from a question I asked about them about maybe why they don't prioritize their own health or why they put their children's needs before their own, like that became where I caught words that now every mom that I talk to says. And so I really focused, my aha moment was to like take it on as a serious experience and layer in some market research and to really focus on being clear as opposed to clever, because that's really when people are going to find you.
So I
that
love
are
the
looking
research
for you.
calls. Where did you learn how to do that? Okay.
I've worked with other business coaches in the past. And so I remembered when I was building so network marketing, right? I've built a law firm. I've built a brick and mortar business. I've built an online coaching business. And I realized some of the things that I've learned in other business models, I wasn't bringing into my branding for social media, for network marketing. And so I just decided to look at the tool set, the tool belt that I had from other business experiences and was like, this is how I nailed my marketing for my coaching business. Why am I not doing this? And it helped me get into that professional mindset. And it was really fun. I got to talk to really cool moms.
Oh, I love that. And I have heard Candace talk about doing, these 15-minute research in order to find that information. Plus it helps kind of get you warmed up of talking to people if you're afraid because you're not trying to sell anything, and that kind of a thing. So I love that. So thank you for bringing that up and love how you were able to bring it all together. Brooke, what was your biggest aha moment?
My biggest aha moment was the mission statement. I had been an elite healer. I have pages and pages of my own mission statement. But until I met with Marina and she came up with a not so clever, right, mission statement for me, because of course I'm clever, right? That is when everything just started to fall into place. My freebie, what I was about, what I was teaching people, it just really helped me niche down for sure and start to attract, like an audience that was attracted to what I was actually portraying, my mission. And so that was the thing. I had multiple missions, right? So when she helped me hone in and I could just create everything around that mission statement, everything became so much clearer and easier
Thank
for
you for
me.
sharing. So Kim, what was your biggest aha?
So for me, my biggest aha moment, honestly, was my target audience. And, I've heard of that in other businesses, my other businesses. But as far as network marketing, I was just out there, prospecting, talking to any and everybody, going through, the whole thing of sometimes getting people on your team and you're like, okay, what in the world, and just not meshing and all of that. So when, so when, she asked, when Brina asked that question, and she's like, what does your target audience look like? What does your human look like? What does she wear? What does she, just all of those type of questions. What stores does she shop at? I had never even thought about that, to be honest, with network marketing. But it just made everything so much easier. And then, not only that, but after we, got the whole, my human together, the person that I wanted to target, and then the mission statement, component of that. And to kind of bring all of that together. But that honestly,
and that's made
was
it a
my
lot easier,
aha
doesn't
moment.
it? It's just
Oh my
and like
God,
you
does
said,
it? Yes.
you get
Kinda,
people on your team and you're thinking, what
yes.
was I thinking?
Yeah, I was working so hard and didn't even realize it. And it just made
Awesome.
it so
Thank you
much
so much.
easier.
Danielle, what was your
You're
biggest
welcome.
aha?
So, I mean, there were so many, but one is, it's silly, but it's Instagram. They teach you a lot about how to use Instagram, and I've had an Instagram for years, but I haven't really been utilizing it the way I should have. So you're learning how to make a bio and highlights and share your story to find leads and generate leads. And I was like, hello, like, why haven't I been doing this? I have an Instagram, I use Facebook, like, what am I doing with my life, right? So I really started diving more into Instagram, and now I generate sales all the time from my stories. Like, it's amazing what Instagram can do, and you do learn quite a bit about it. So definitely for me, Instagram was like,
Awesome.
yeah,
Thank you for
that
sharing.
was the one.
Jen, what about you? What was your big aha?
So my big aha was when Marina asked me, what do you think your team's biggest struggle, like what is one of their biggest struggles, right? And create your freebie around that. That was like so brilliant. And then the 333 is behind the scenes, and you're offering something that your target audience needs and wants, right? So that was the biggest aha for me, was to rip off the Band-Aid to a freebie that I feel like my humans are struggling with, right? Something that's going to help them. And that, that changed everything. That her asking that question, and then, even creating content around what are people struggling, what are your humans struggling with, and what is your solution? What solution can you offer them that's going to help them grow and move forward?
Absolutely. What's that she says all the time is give them what they want, then sell them what they need. Yeah,
Right.
something like that. Okay, so the next question is going to go to Camille, Chelsea, and Brooke, and that is, name one win that you've had since graduating from MMBK. So we'll start with Camille.
I think I've gotten just more confident, and that has played out in getting into dialogue and honestly making business engagements with people that I probably wouldn't even have pursued. I mean, I'm working with a venture capitalist. I'm working with some other business partners that I just was playing too small before MMBK. And once I got that confidence and felt like I had all the pieces coming together, that allowed me to get more bold in my asks and has really transformed things.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Thank you for sharing. Chelsea.
Yeah, so I wanted to talk through a specific customer that came on who went exactly through the process that we laid out, just because I was so excited when it happened, because I worked really hard on my opt-in quiz. I decided to do a quiz as my freebie with Candace, and I really wanted the quiz to be meaningful and like engage my target audience. And one of the moms went through, I forget that it's your multitasking momming style. Oh, is your multitasking momming style burning you out? Okay. And so she took it, and at the end, it asks you to screenshot the results to me to see if they'll like take a little hoop, right? And she did. And then it delivered an email to her with my 4 simple steps to ditch foggy mom brain. And we had a genius idea that on the guide, we had a link or the text message where they could text message my project broadcast to get into a funnel to get my calendar to book a time with me. And she did every single one of those steps. And so then on that call, I used the sales script that Candace had helped me with, and I had tweaked because I wanted to have a product focused one for people coming through this funnel. And at the end, when we got on, I just wanted to share this because it was so fun that while we were talking, and I always ask at the beginning of a call, like, what's your biggest goal out of this call? Like, I have a framework, I've got questions, but what do you want to get out of this? And she said, I'm just fascinated to be on this call because I think you're going to sell me a network marketing product, but it's a fascinating process you've brought me through. And at the end of the call, when I said, if I had something that I think would help you, she was like, I'm in, whatever it is. If it's under $300 a month, I'm in. And now she's 2 months into using the products, and we're talking about the business and how she could brand herself because she was a former MLMer who was burned by oversaturating her market with before and afters. And so I just loved that because when I was looking at the sales page for MMBK and I was like, I'm going to have a freebie and like, how does this all fit in? How does it get me sales? And so I wanted to share that one specific win. It's not thousands that have gone through in that way, but one target audience member went exactly through what we mapped out. And now I trust that process that I can have thousands go through and it will convert the right people.
Awesome. Thank you. What an example. I appreciate it. Brooke, what about you? What was your biggest aha?
My biggest aha? What did I answer?
Yeah, your biggest aha. Yeah, your biggest aha since graduating from the Money Making Brandy Kit.
So many. I would say probably my course, because I think the question was a little different, right? I answered the aha one.
Okay.
So it was like my biggest achievement, right? Okay.
So let's see if we can phrase it a different way. So what was something that when you got done with the process and you started implementing once you were done, what was something that was either revelating or shocking in a good way, or it was like, oh my gosh, this stuff works? What happened to put you in that time or in that spot?
Well, I know this might not be normal talking, but I continually said, I am so smart because I hired you guys, because there is no way I could have done this myself. And so I just really felt really proud of myself that I invested in, it was kind of a lot, and, we aren't really sure right away, but when they over deliver, and then you start to see results back to back, it was like, I am so smart. I hired you guys.
Oh, I love that. I love that. We think you're really smart. So, it's we're all on the same page, right? Okay, let's go to the next question. We have about 5 minutes left. Let me choose which question.
Sue, you can go to 1:30. You're good.
Okay. So just want to make sure I don't want to get kicked out of the community, That wouldn't look good for the community manager. But I do have to tell you, my first speaking gig ever was at the Biltmore Hotel in Los Angeles, and I actually fell off the stage on that one. So, at least I can't fall off my chair here. Okay, so let's go on. So Kim, Danielle, and Jen, what advice would you give someone who doesn't know who their ideal audience is to sell on social media? What's one piece of advice you would give them so that if they don't know what the heck they're doing, they can do this and then freaking crush it? Can I say that on here? Just did, I guess, right? So Kim, what would you think? What would you say?
So what I would actually tell you that you need MMBK. Make it easy on yourself. You don't have to figure all of this stuff out by yourself. And as I said on Monday, let the experts do what the experts do, and they're pros at it. So sometimes, like myself, I had an idea of what I wanted to do, but Marina and Marissa and Candace, they took it and they made it all make sense. So I would just say, honey, humble yourself and let the experts do what they do. And and the rest will be history. Just let them make it make sense for you.
When you said that, Kim, it reminds me, we're organic, grass-only dairy farmers. And I can't tell you how many times we've tried to fix something ourselves and then have had to hire somebody in order to not just fix it, but actually it cost us more because they had to undo what we had already done. Anybody else have that?
Yes.
So yeah, I agree with you 100%.
Yes. Yes.
So
And a
Dan-
smart business owner will always ask for help.
you're right. Some of us just aren't that smart that fast. So it's all good. So Danielle, what would your advice be?
Yes, obviously join as well, have some help. But when I bring on new teammates or someone new who doesn't know how to do social media, I always tell them, what are the 5 things that you are about? Like, what are your 5 passions? And that is basically going to be a lot of the content that you're going to share. So for me at the time, when I was starting, I was a dental hygienist. So I post a lot about my work. I love wine. Big part of my branding is wine. Okay. A lot. I'm not saying I drink every day, but I'm a mom. Okay. So I post about wine. I love fitness. I'm obsessed with my Peloton. So I'm on my stories all day with my Peloton. I'm a wife and a dog mom. So when you're sharing about those things, you're connecting and you're generating connections with those kind of people. So now when I look at my team, half of my team are dental hygienists. Almost every one of them drink wine, and several of them have a Peloton. I've connected who I am, and that's just the way it works, is to, find those 5 things about your life and constantly be sharing about those things, because those are who you're going to connect and relate to.
Mic drop. How powerful is that, right? How powerful is that? So Jen, what about you?
Yeah, I'll just piggyback off of everybody else. So definitely having the help. I'm with Brooke. I don't think there's any way in the world that I would have been able to piece together what they did for me. I could see 10 years from now not having the system in place that I have now. So if you're at a place in your business where you've kind of, you're just at the you've kind of leveled out and you don't know the next step, you need somebody that knows what they're doing to step in and help you out. I also do what Danielle does. I tell my people to pick 5 things that they're passionate about, and that's going to be their brand. That's who they are, and that's what they're going to share with the world to attract the people that are similar to them and that are going to connect with them. And a lot of times I'll get a lot of pushback on that, like, well, I want to talk to everybody, or people with network marketing companies that, maybe, well, I have men can do my business too, or something, it's like, yeah, but that's not who's your person, who's your bestie, so who's your bestie, who is your social media BFF, who are they, and what are their what are they struggling with? Are they a stay-at-home mom that wants a relationship that needs community with other women? Are they entrepreneurial and have been stuck at home and not making their own money? So that was me. So that's the message that I want to put forward. So that's your branding. You need to figure out who you are, what are the 5 things that make you you, and talk about that. And then also what problems does your BFF have that you can help them solve?
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate all that. So the last question, and then what I'd like to do is just, again, if we can kind of keep it to 60 seconds. And then after that, if you are willing to share your mission statement, you can just tack it right onto here. Okay. When, after you answer the question, are we okay with that? Did that make sense? Okay. So, what is your top tip for finding your brand and message to connect to your audience on social media? Okay, so we'll start with Camille. What's your top tip for finding your brand and message to connect to your audience on social media?
Well, once you go through MMBK and you have your mission statement and you have your target audience, go to where they are. I think that is just the biggest thing. I mean, we get so caught up, and the ladies in Moneymaker Branding Kit, they're so smart. They know all the platforms. But if your audience and your people, for example, are not on TikTok, then TikTok isn't your platform. And then once you're there, 333.
I love that. And I think that, I think you can't, you're not going to have success. This is the world according to Sue. Okay. When you're coming into this, you're not going to have success if you're doing TikTok and LinkedIn and Facebook. I mean, you've got to master one and get pretty good at it before I think you can go on to the next one, because that will help you to know what's working so that you can pivot and you can make the little tweaks you need to for the other platforms. So I love that, Camille. I love that. That's just so flippin' true. So Chelsea, what about you? What's your top tip?
My top tip is to know that you don't have to be anybody else. Like said with so much love and respect for Marina, I'm not Marina, right? I don't get my nails done. I get my hair cut like twice a year. I spend my Sundays meal prepping, and I'm obsessed with gut health, right? Like, so when Jen was talking about the 5 things, just know that you can brand yourself. And sometimes that takes doing some like deep work and figuring out, like when I was coming out of the muck and the mire, I didn't know who I was. And so, not that everybody has to do this, but like I needed to do a lot of journaling and meditation and law of attraction focus and counseling because of where I was in the deep hole, to be like, who am I? How do I want to show up? And so to do the work, if you're in the space of saying, I don't know who I am, that's your work right now. It's to figure out who you are and how you want to show up. And if you do know who you are and you're just nervous, that it's just about accepting who you are. And so I know that's easy to say, but it helped me. I'll share that my mission statement is that I help the multitasking mom make healthy decisions for herself and her family without breaking the bank or putting herself on the back burner. And I want to help empower her to be proud, to role model healthy habits, to ditch the hashtag mom guilt, and embrace that self-care should matter for everyone in her family, including her first. And so once I was able to accept who I was and the journey I was on, all of that just started to roll off of my tongue very simply. And so if you're in the space of not knowing, maybe you've got a little bit of inner work to do. It can happen during MMBK like it did for me. I just kind of fast-tracked a lot of that. But it also happens every day for all of us when we decide to show up. Even if you know your mission statement, we are human beings, and that's the dirty work of being a leader and doing what other people find too hard to do, which is putting yourself out there.
Makes sense. Thank you, Chelsea. Brooke, what would your top tip for about finding your brand and your message and connecting on social, connecting to your audience on social media?
Very similar to the other ladies, is look inside, continually making sure that I'm being me. I'm not Marina. Definitely continually looking inside. Who am I being in the world? How am I showing up? How I'm being is what I'm going to be attracting. So if I ever feel like I'm not attracting people or the wrong people, it's like I just instantly start to look inside.
I love
so
that constantly
suggestion.
reevaluating, I think is always good. So Kim, what about you?
So for me, it would just be, after you go through the branding kit and, you have that mission statement and all of that, to actually take it and use it to help people. And to also know, I know a huge moment for myself is, even if you've gone through a lot of whatever, it does not matter. You can use your story to bless other people's lives. And so, when I get those inboxes, number one, I'm a kind of shy person, but it helped me. It gave me that confidence. So once I started posting some of my stories and connecting with different people, to get the text messages, to get the, inboxes of, oh my God, you just don't know how, your post helped me, like that just makes it also worth it for me. So just make sure you're taking it and you put it to use and you help somebody. That's the main thing. And then for my mission statement, it is, I help women to repair, to rebuild their lives, finding their strength, knowing their worth, and changing their language to walk in their gifts.
Ooh, I love that. Very good. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate that. Danielle, you're on mute. Oh, okay.
Oh, am I good? Yeah. Can you hear me? Okay. So once you know your audience, I could talk about this for years. Be real and be raw. That's I think that's how I got where I got, is I am 100% real on social media. I wash my hair once a week. Sometimes I drink wine for dinner. I am a hot mess mom. I I'm not perfect. You know, people don't want perfect. And for a lot of years when I first started, I thought I had to have the perfect body and the perfect selfie, but no one wants to talk to you when you look perfect. They're intimidated by you. So when you are real raw, you're more relatable. People relate to you more. They're more likely to want to talk to you. They feel more comfortable to talk to you. Our team just hit the biggest goal I've ever seen in my life last month. And I went live on my Facebook crying. I don't know how I did it. I cried for 6 minutes, but I was so excited. I felt like I had to just share it. And the messages that were coming in were unbelievable. Like, you are so real. This is why I follow you. And that's what you want, is you want people to follow you for who you are and not who, you know, social media wants you to be. Is just be yourself. And that is going to get you more success than anything. And my mission statement's basically, I show moms how to create a never-ending maternity leave, because when I first had started here, I was a new mom and I wanted to be home. So a lot of the people I do bring on are moms that, you know, are looking for extra income in their life.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing. Jen, last but not least.
Yes. So I think my biggest tip would be to get really clear on your story and get really good at sharing your story. And I think that's also so important for somebody new in your network marketing business, is to help them get really clear on their story. And people think they need this amazing story, and you don't need to, you know, have gone through some awful traumatic experience. You just need to get really clear on your story and get really good at sharing it across social media platforms. And then you'll start attracting the right people to you. And my mission statement is, I help the underdog in business unlock and manifest the fighting spirit to unapologetically show up as you.
Awesome. Thank you. Well, ladies, I want to thank you. And those of you, we can't see the comments. So if you could give them a lot of love, a lot of kudos for sharing their hearts, sharing their lives, sharing, you know, their journey with you, we would appreciate it. I thank all of you that have been on this panel. You have inspired me and make me feel a bit more empowered that I can step forward and do more and be better. So thank you so much for everything that you do, for sharing so openly with us. And I'm so excited that I have gotten to know you guys a little bit in this session. So thank you very much.
And you're all fired because you made me cry. I love it. Thank you, ladies, so much. All of you are so powerful, and I know there's even more in every single one of you. So be ready for messages from me to boost you even higher. Danielle, you know you're getting a message from me, right? Yeah, you know this already. So I love it. I'm so grateful for all of you. We're going to go to lunch now. So let me go ahead and remove the incredible panel that freaking just slayed that. I mean, nuggets like left and right. It's just so awesome. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a lunch. We're going to come back at 2:30 p.m. Eastern. So that's 1 hour. Yep. 1 hour-ish, right? So we're going to come back and we're opening with, we've got Brock Johnson, okay? Brock Johnson is going to be teaching you how to leverage Instagram Reels, to get more leads and make more sales as a network marketer. His mom is Shailene Johnson. They have a podcast together. I'm not sure if you know who she is. You might want to Google her. Shailene Johnson, Brock Johnson. They're kind of a big deal. So I'm so excited and honored that he said yes to come here. He's killing it on Instagram Reels. I just, literally just do what he tells me to do. So I'm excited to share him with all of you. Have an amazing lunch. Drink some water. Please drink some water. Drink some freaking water. Look at how much I've drank today. Are we not proud? Are we not proud of me? I'm peeing like a racehorse, but it's all good. I mean, Makini told me drink more water and I feel better today. I'm not exhausted. I'm literally not dragging. All I got to do is drink more water. All right. Well, start yelling at me when I get a headache from now on. All right. I love you guys so much. It's not Shailene. It's her son. However, I believe he's right up there with her. So I will see you guys right after lunch. I love you guys. Bye.